Hi everyone, I am Eric Troy. I'm the writer and director of Calamita Road, a feature film about an armored truck driver and comic book enthusiast who gets stuck on an abandoned road in his armored truck, while a group of robbers are trying to break in and get the money inside. We will be launching our Kickstarter on September 1st. In these episodes, we will be going over the film, the characters, the people involved with making the film, and much more. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back. Today, I would like to talk about something that is down to brass tacks. When it comes to the way that we're going to be filming this film, it's going to be making it the right way, by the books, and the way that we're funding it is going to be straight to the consumer. There are some aspects about film funding that really should be clear to you, the audience. And so I would like to demystify some of the process for you so that you can understand exactly why we are going about it the way that we are. As a creative, you want to just write a story, and it's so amazing that some guy who has a lot of money, reads it and goes, I just want to see this. And then, you get your film made, and that's great. But that's just not how it works. You got to follow the money trail to figure out why things happen in the world. And let me tell you something. People invest in films for different reasons. Some of them do it because they do think, oh, this is a great idea and I just want to see this. But other people invest for other reasons because they want certain messages to come across. And they want to have creative control. They want to put their brother's friend's ex-wife's buddy who they kind of like and wants to have like a acting career into the movie, and the guy sucks. You have a lot of things like that can really bring a movie down. And it's called concessions. So when somebody finances your film, legally speaking, you need to make concessions in order to make it so that there's a justification for the film being funded the way that it is. As for the budget, right now, as of the time that I'm recording this video, it has been brought up to $1.7 million. $1.7 million sounds like a lot to you and me as regular, average American citizens. But in the larger picture of making a movie, it is actually considered very cheap. And the reason why it has to be that expensive is because of how much it costs to feed the crew, to have them employed for the day, because filmmaking just kind of works different. Every person involved with a project, they kind of have to set aside their day away from other gigs. It's less like you work for a company that gives you a set period of hours, like a 9 to 5, and it's like 5 days a week and everything's, stable and normal. It's more like you are your own representative as a sole proprietor, and that you are going out and basically negotiating with people who might hire you and take you on for employment, and you are negotiating what your rate will be, and you're operating basically your own business. Filmmaking is kind of interesting in a lot of ways. It's the only business that I've seen that works like this, at least in my experience. So there are unions that back up these crews, these groups of people. There are some people that are capable of doing the jobs and perhaps doing it to the capacity of a union worker. But in order to get the correct group of people aggregated in a very uniform and quick and reasonable fashion is to go through the unions themselves. That's the whole point of a union, is that you know that they're trained correctly and that they are talented at what they do. So when you do go through a union, there are certain standards that need to be met. One of those things is healthcare requirements, things that they refer to them as peripherals. They're expenditures that are basically, you might be paying somebody their hourly rate, but there are these other things that come into play along with that hourly rate. You have expenses that are considered for individuals that are above the line and below the line, and there's a whole thing about that. But right now what matters is that you understand that this budget was made by somebody who really knows how to make a budget. They have worked under a lot of the studios that we all know and love. And he has also worked for producers and things like that who are well known, and I can't say much more, but you would know them. Let's just say he's a good guy who has been around people. He's been very generous with the information that he has given to me as a friend. In order to make a budget like that, you need to have a schedule completely planned out, which we did figure out with the help of an assistant director friend of mine. These are usually the materials that you need to get a project seriously considered for anything. And that's one of the things that my friend has actually been very good at teaching me about, and I'm very thankful for that. So given all of this information, why it's as expensive as it is, and how we allocate the funds, and what is necessary to make the film, I would like to then transition into talking about why we're doing a Kickstarter campaign. Because as you know, as I said before, you need to justify why, somebody is financing the film if they have to make a certain decision, a creative decision, or financial decision, or anything. So by going through Kickstarter, instead of it being considered a regular contribution to a film, wherein you are being either paid in exchange for putting the money forward, or taking some sort of ownership of something, or being compensated with shares, or having some sort of creative control or anything like that. Instead, what it is that you're putting it forward because you just want to see the project made. So if you put the money forward as a donation, the Security Exchange Commission does not consider that to be some sort of laundering, basically, because you're putting it through as a donation. I have been going to a lot of different nonprofits trying to get fiscal sponsorship, and that means we can basically carry the funds from one year into another without the tax season coming in and taking what we make out of the Kickstarter. By having the film tied to a nonprofit, where we have the funds held in the nonprofit so that it can carry over into the following year, basically it makes it so that every person that donates can write it off of their taxes as a donation to a nonprofit. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we're going to be offering things where there are advertising opportunities or the ability to pitch to us. Now, if you want to pitch your idea to us, guess what? If you're going into filmmaking, that can count as a business expense. And let's say you wanted to advertise, you wanted to have your company logo on our website or in our credits or anything like that as a donor to the movie. Guess what that is? Another business expense. You can write those off of your taxes. So this is a way of making it so that you can get something out of it, a write-off, and materials from the movie, for example, things like behind the scenes photography or pitch materials or perhaps custom illustrations. The thing that we want to do is we want to avoid having physical products that we have to deliver to locations throughout the United States or around the world, because that gets expensive and it takes from the donations. Now, I've been doing extensive research on that in order to make it so that I can actually provide something of value. I would like to make that one of the episodes, actually, so that we can go over what you can get for certain values of donations. So if we can have a way to give things out to you digitally, for example, little packets or whatnot, you can basically have a little bit of something in exchange for your donation immediately, but then also having the ability to write something off of your taxes, as well as maybe advertise for yourself, pitch a film. Perhaps one of the things I was thinking of was actually offering writing advice, basically consulting on your writing. I think that just about defines how we can get this film made and keep creative control, as well as why it is that we're doing what we're doing, and explaining how the finances will be used, because especially when it comes to that, that is something that is not easy to understand. But once you do recognize that all of these people need to be paid in this very specific way, you kind of realize, oh, okay, yeah, it really is $1.7 million to get this thing off the ground. If I'm able to show paperwork, I pray to God that I can, to show you exactly how the funds are going to be allocated. But I think next time I'm going to get into the funding tiers, just that you can know what you can get out of certain amounts of money that you can fund toward the film. Again, writing it off of your taxes. And until then, take care, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you. Bye. If you would like, please sign up for the emailing list. The link should be somewhere below. If not, we have the Instagram account, which is Calamita Road. We also have our YouTube page. If you do sign up for the email list, When you receive the email saying that the Kickstarter has launched, please send it to any friend of yours that you might think is interested. The more people we get involved with this project, the more that we'll be able to make it with our hands free, basically. If we decide to go through any other avenue of funding, we will have to make concessions, which basically means that we have to do things a little differently from the way that the script is written right now. So if you guys can please share this video out there, share the emailing list, and hopefully we'll be able to get this project off the ground by the time that the spring comes around. Thank you all, and take care. Bye for now.